Hello,
Welcome back.
everyone.
Yeah, welcome back to another amazing session of Spirit Sessions Funhouse. No, Spirit Sessions A View of the Light. And really, we like to go into the spiritual things and break them down for everyday understanding. And woo, that leads us to so many places and so much fun. And today I want you to see we got two heads there in that corner. That would be Rhonda and Melinda. They are sharing the screen today for added hostage that we are. We got Bex Marie, and then we are so excited to have Nancy back because there are messages coming through for the animals. Things are changing. We are moving in to a fifth dimensional relationship with animals. And so, as I smudge everyone, I'd like to ask Bex Marie to go ahead and why? Why did we bring Nancy on? Why? What's going on?
Why? Well, good morning and good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for hanging out with us today. Make sure you take a minute to share this out, invite your friends. We love talking about animals, and of course, having Nancy here is such a blessing because she is the one to go to if you need some help with your pets. Okay, she has this amazing ability to communicate with them, and we'll get into that. But first, not too long ago, I got this intuitive hit very strong that I needed to ask Nancy to be on the show because I noticed for months now there's been a huge influx of animals crossing over. And I was really wondering what's going on. You know, why does it seem that there's so many animals? I mean, it's everyone I know has been touched by a loss of an animal in the past 6 months. You know, it's been a lot. So I was wondering about that, and I thought she'd be the perfect person to come and talk about that. So we're going to touch on that, and then we're going to get into what she does, how she communicates with animals, and we're going to put in this disclaimer, though she is not an animal medium. Okay, she does not spend her time communicating with animals who have crossed over. She likes to communicate and works best with the ones that she can help now in this incarnation. Okay, so that's important for everybody to understand. So she will not be addressing any questions about any animals that have crossed over. Okay, so Nancy, can you please introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do?
Okay. Well, first off, it was great to have that question because that also made me tap into a section that maybe I hadn't put a request in before, or not for this purpose anyway. So I went ahead and okay, we'll go to that in a minute. What I'll do is I'll talk about what I do. So I am, like, since childhood, basically just been very connected with animals. And I just thought kind of everybody was this way, but I learned later that not everybody could hear like the level that I'm hearing at, which some people say, like, only a dog heard that, Nancy. What are you talking about? And apparently some of my senses and levels are just a kind of that level. And I've always been able to hear the cat in the middle of the night, get ready to have a fight. So me and my dog would head out and go get Kitty and bring Kitty home. And by the way, I do have a disclaimer there on that. And that is, do never pick up a kitty that's about to have a fight.
Yeah.
Okay. When they are up and it's about to, do not. And I was very, very lucky with all the incidents that I went through as a child. Only once, and I only needed once, did I pick her up at the wrong time. And I got it right in the shoulder because and that is not their fault. They're amped up. I had no business reaching in then. But like I said, that's the disclaimer. But anyway, that's just the way I've always been. I can hear them on everybody's Zooms and stuff anymore. I can hear any animal in the house that wants to go out or wants to be fed or something's going on. It's like, guys, can you turn down the volume in your houses? Because I hear everybody's everything. But anyway, now it's taken it to a point in my life where I also went in to learn and read the Akashic Records, and I've taken that further in depth with the animals, where I go in, especially to the living, and go into things that we don't quite understand, especially cats in particular, because they're so mysterious. They've been so mysterious, and really, they're not domesticated, okay? They live with us, but they're not, you can't really call them domesticated, because we're just learning how to share space, and we're learning how to share space better than ever. And I'm here to help us learn how to share space even better than ever, keep them healthier than ever, and also help you tune in to what your cat is there for in the first place, which is to send you and guide you with messages, information, keep you protected when you sleep. I mean, they're on duty. They came and arrived for a reason, and that's what I do. So I go in the depths, the health depths, to help you figure out the foods they need, what strange thing is going on, how can we fix this up, and I go in the Akashic records and just get the deeper answers. So the only time I do speak to them that have crossed over is basically if I don't know they crossed over. Because sometimes when I go to tap in, especially for a lost animal, their energy is as strong spiritually as it was when they were on Earth. So I've learned to ask, are you still on this 3D Earth in form? And then I go from there. Because I've gone to great extents to help find cats that aren't on this earth anymore because I forgot to ask that. So if you're ever looking for a lost animal, also checking in, are you still on this 3D earth? And then get your answer and then proceed as needed.
That's good advice.
Cool.
Very good advice.
And you do talk to dogs too, right?
Yes, I do. But for me, it's
And
like
the difference between dogs and cats,
are so much easier.
Quickly.
Dogs are so much easier. They just are. They just I just dogs are just a lot easier.
They're wide open. Do you think? Is
But,
that it?
but
Because their hearts are wide open.
I am. Also, too, with cats, because cats are known to keep a lot of secrets. Because in their wild self, they can't show all that being out in the wild. You can't show injury. You can't show all that. That's how you get eaten. So that is still very much a part of it. That's why so much is secretive when we think, why did she just pee on the floor in front of me? How rude. What did I do wrong for you? And you see, we get all these emotions and it's like, no, I'm just trying to get your attention. And you weren't listening. So, it's, we make it, a lot of times we make it way more complicated than it is. But sometimes it needs a deeper understanding to get the answer. So that's what I do.
I love it. It's going to be such an amazing ability to have. So let's get to the big
I'm waiting
question.
for somebody else to talk and I forget. Yeah, I'm on.
I hear it,
We're
girl.
not switching over, right?
What is going on? Why are so many animals
Okay.
crossing over right now?
All right. So this one, I had to, this was a lot. I was so pleased that when I got done channeling this, that I could read the writing, because I did it without glasses on too, but I could. So I deciphered it and put it together. And okay, so this is the information I received. So of course the question was, why has there been such an acceleration of pets this year? And we don't mean because of the fires. That is, all the fires is like beside the point. We're talking about present. Okay. So this is the information, and I called in everybody because I just haven't done a conversation like this before. So this was good for me too.
So it's the collective and the Akash?
Yeah, I was like, everybody get in here. I need some information. Okay. All right. So this is what I received. It said, this rebirthing of the new earth is creating a new beginning for the animals as well as humans. They will be returning anew to begin again with new honor, respect, and acknowledgement of their greater purpose of all sentient beings. How they are here for more than okay. I didn't understand my own writing. How they are here for more than. So in other words, the reason they are here is for more than being sacrificed to fill human bellies. Okay, so this whole level is being pushed up high and moving quickly. Okay. Next question was also, are more people sharing the sadness they feel about their beloved buddies crossing over? With all the social media we have available now, people are feeling freer to share how much love and connection they feel with their animals that crossed over. Yes, it is. It too is about more understanding and more hearts wide open, feeling that energy, which is awesome. That's what it's all about. And these animals come in for us to grow and love. Every relationship matters. It's not just your human one-on-ones. Every relationship grows that heart, and that's big. Okay, and let me see. Love and connection that crossed over. Yes, it too is about more understanding, more hearts wide open, um, more love and grace each animal brings forward to the collective of all that is. And although we know that we are never really gone, but we can no longer touch them and cuddle them like we used to, and so many of us understand that piece missing in the heart. The greater love expansion has happened, and we are woke. Now, what they were showing me is, as I asked Ford on like, what did this look like? The picture they gave me was, I don't know, because this is an older one, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Okay, do you remember the Genesis project?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this
Sorry, I'm a Trekkie.
in
Yeah.
and
got it.
built. Okay, so this is what they showed me for a picture. Was Genesis taken off? So making this beauty out of nothing, out of the darkness, and growing all these fruits and all this beauty and all the animals. So this birthing of this beginning was just, it's so remarkable. And it was like, okay, now I got to find that movie, because all I can remember was the Genesis, and I couldn't believe it was a Wrath of Khan. Actually, I really like that movie, but anyway. So Genesis is that's what this rebirthing would be, looking like this Genesis. Now, I also
Your
asked
friend Terry's here.
around, huh?
Terry, your friend Terry is here.
Oh, he's
Hey,
here.
Terry.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tate's on the road. He just brought a bunch of dogs, a whole bunch of dogs to be adopted to New York. So
Oh, wow.
he's trying to get a signal on the road. So the other thing I asked too was, I wasn't sure if. All right, let me see. Do you remember the Star Trek? Okay. Well, that's what they're showing me. They're showing me from death, darkness to light and rebirth. And I started to ask for a date. I wasn't sure if they were going to give me one. And I was starting to work on a date, and they were showing me around mid-spring. Now, as I was getting the mid-spring date, I got to say, I got a little interrupted there. There was an animal emergency that came through. So I had to shift out of there and shift over to the emergency. So I'm going to say that as tentative, but because they were giving me, it's like, that's around my birthday. So that'd be around the middle of April. So I didn't get to continue further on that conversation. So I'm game for it being then. So hopefully it is then.
Absolutely.
So that's what they shared with me about it. That it's about, yes. So they are shifting. Yes, they're going to get rebirth and come into the new. Just like we're just getting to do it while we're here.
Right. Right.
Get to go through it all. They get to leave and come back.
Thank you so much for answering that.
Sure.
It's been
beautiful.
something that I've been seeing so much of, and it's just like, I know that losing a pet makes you more aware of other people losing pets, but the amount of pets that my friends on Facebook have been, like
Yes.
every day somebody's grieving a loss of an
Yes.
animal, and I'm like, what's happening? So I know, of course, there's a divine plan, at play here, and we have to trust in that.
Yes.
But being able to have a better understanding really helps. So thank you.
Yeah, and it was for me too. So I appreciated the challenge to get some information and find out what's going on there too. So it's good, because it also, to me, anything that helps console the heart a little bit more through all this processing we're doing helps. So
Absolutely.
know there's a greater shift going on, and also know that excuse me, any animals that have crossed over, number one, if you call on them, they come. They don't have any problem coming to visiting. They're probably around a lot more than you think they are. And just a moment that you think they are, or you smell them, or you feel them, or they're dead in a bed, or whatever, it is them, and they are here visiting.
Yes.
So know that.
Yeah, dreams too.
Yes.
Joey loves to show up in my dreams.
Oh, wow.
Joey, man, I love some
Oh,
Joey.
nice.
Some Joey.
Yep, it's my boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk
Okay.
about what you do like to do more and you
Okay.
spend more time in. And I know that this is something that's really just, this is your passion, this is it. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about your communication with animals and why you are able to show up this way, you know, how you show up this way and where you put it most, like, especially with the adoptions. I think that's so important too.
Oh, for me, so that was my other thing too, that for me, I had injured my back in a nursing accident, and that shut down a lot of things in life for me. So things kind of got quiet, and I kind of got closer and closer to being home on my own and not out as much as I used to. When I moved to the Asheville area, I finally decided it was time to start reaching out. And of course, there was plenty of things to reach out to here. So when I went to Asheville Humane Society, which was my first volunteer, actually, I went to look for a kitty, and I didn't think my heart could stand it. It was like, oh man. I mean, because that's a lot of people feel that way too, especially if they just lost an animal, where you'll go through and think, oh my God, I'm going to bust into tears. I'm not going to make it out the door. And first round I went through, I made it through, I made it out the door. It was like, I didn't cry. Okay. I did think I saw one of my cats, but I didn't cry. That's good. And by the next time that I was adopting a kitty, I got recruited. So then I started to realize that it's a little hard to explain. I could probably do it better in person, but I've had to learn to do it through phones and computers now too. But I kind of have this ability
There's your answer.
of talking to the cats
Mm-hmm.
and letting them know. Then I also ask them, okay, you know, who's ever interested, come forward. So as I bring the human in, I can start to see who's interested. Now, I'm also talking about an area of like 20 cats. All right. So I've got to have some cooperation there. So I get an idea from them. So it like I said, most times, if you just pay attention, because they'll tell you, if they go in the back in the corner, that it's not it, not the one. Go to the keep going. And eventually you will see they'll be working it. And the human's probably not paying attention. It's like, over here, there's your connection. And that connection, when you finally see it made, it's just, there's just such it's like almost you see a heart, like in circle, the human and the kitty, because it's such a high connection, and they will be assisting them on such higher levels. And it's just awesome. It's so no matter how much work you just went through, all the crap you just cleaned up, everything else, you have that moment. It's like, okay, all right, I can do this for a couple more hours. All right, let's go. And they're just, it's just, there's a spark. And even now with having, basically, I'm using pictures. Maybe somebody gives me a description. I'm talking to the people on the phone, and they're not all meeting until the last minute. But I have like 98% of the time made the connection. So again, Spirit said, you're going to have to do this another way. You're just not going to get to do it in person. Mm-hmm. So, but it's still, even when the paperwork's written and all, I got to see that moment, because there's other kitties, there's other connections. Nothing needs to be forced, you know? And then once I connect, it's like, all right, now we'll finish the paperwork. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah,
but I love doing that, and I'm missing it real bad because with COVID, you know, we've been able to do a couple rounds we did like kind of adoption marathons where we had to kind of set up in the warehouse and just run the appointments from there. And me and my adoption buddy, Ken Blank, we're missing it. So man, I'm hoping for this wave to get over and we get back in the public, and I like meeting other kitties, man. I miss it, man. I miss meeting kitties.
Really you have your kitties too. How many kitties do you have right now?
Well, I just have I have 3 in the house and 1 outside. And can we do Fritz? Fritz came with my house.
I don't
He's
know
not
how.
outside. He's indoor outside. He's
We're gonna
sleeping
try the
in the screen.
share.
Okay.
Okay, so which do I
She's gonna
hit
try
first,
the share.
Rhonda?
This is
Share the
this is
screen.
this is called
Share
a blip.
screen first, and
Now we're doing
then
some new
And you're gonna
technology
have to go
here.
to your
So
downloads file. Yeah. Teresa's learning on the job today,
yes,
and that's excellent.
without a whole
So
lot of notice.
we're either gonna do it or we're gonna have to do it old school.
Okay.
So we're just gonna have to wait and see.
oh,
This
I
is
got the
what
dog. Hang on, let me
No,
go
no,
back.
you got to get the share the screen there,
this
bud.
is what live streaming's all
On the
about, people.
StreamYard.
Okay.
Doing it on the fly.
Okay. Or maybe we're not. Okay. Anyhow, so we'll just talk about Fritz. So anyway, so Fritz is
Keep
my
trying to
tabby
share.
who came with my house. And
Oh,
so he
come
was
on.
already taking care of my property before I even got here. And actually his prints and everything were everywhere. So it wasn't for like probably about 2 years before I realized he wasn't going home, that he was pretty much staying here all the time. So bit by bit, I just started feeding him more and more. And then one night I thought I saw him. I thought he went home, and I found him in the corner out in the rain. So then I set up the laundry room. He has like 3 beds, and his all set up in there. So when he went to come in and sleep, he has his piece, and then he comes and goes as he pleases. I can hardly keep him in the snowstorm. But anyway, we had a cute picture of him. He was like being, showing his cat mojo and doing a blip. And a blip is when they stick their tongue out. Somebody actually came up with a name for that. There isn't much in the cat world that doesn't have a name at some point, but there were just some cute blips that I wanted to share out. But I also have, my guys are all, everybody else, no, other than Simba. Simba was dropped off at my porch in Franklin, the last drop off before I left. And Simba actually, I didn't know what Simba was going to be. Simba was just a cream colored poof with a brown spot on the nose. And a Siamese, or no, and then we passed the Siamese line, and we didn't know. It turned out to be a full-blown rag doll, which people go crazy and spend a lot of money on. And anyway, they're called high maintenance. That's what they're called. So anyway, she's my high maintenance, and I call her she sometimes, and that's terrible because that's not because she's high maintenance. But anyway, but he's a boy, Simba.
He's a diva.
And then I also have adopted Precious. Precious is a foster fail. And my snowshoe Siamese, that one happened because number one, she screamed at me from the time she got wheeled into the building. I was there on a day I wasn't even supposed to be there, and it was not my normal day. And it was a sale going on, and I thought I better go in and help. And this cat showed up, and I looked on the paperwork, and it said like slightly feral or something. I went, what? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm not seeing that. And all I could feel was the energy of this cat. Number one, because they're beautiful, they go for the beauties, they go for the fluffers. They all go for them first. And right away, I started showing her, and I'm thinking, they aren't going to understand you. They're not going to understand you. You're coming home with me. I didn't know she was mine. Thought she was going to a friend, but anyway, and she's what we call, Ken gave me this name, selectively feral. So most of the time,
sort of like selective hearing in men.
Yeah, that's what I thought about. Yeah.
Selective hearing in men.
But she's just selectively feral. So that means, in other words, you don't push a cat like that. Okay, you don't stare a cat like that down. You watch what you're doing sometimes. And she loves me hard. She loves me big time. But also I overdid it about a month ago, and she was on a thing higher than me, which is a power position. Okay, again, selectively feral. You got to watch what you're doing. So I was getting ready for everybody to go to the vet, and I must have been playing with her, and she let out a hiss. And I went in to smell her breath because I'm checking on the teeth, right? So I go in, now I'm not paying attention, I'm just going to smell her breath. So I come in closer
Oh
to smell her breath.
no.
So she took it as a threat, and I
Oh,
got smacked
wow.
upside the head some years. And I'll tell you, she smacked me hard too.
You got whacked inside.
Oh, on both sides of my
Claws
head.
in or claws
Boom!
out?
Because it was a threat. I mean, again, you gotta. I mean, when somebody is selectively viral, you can't do that kind of thing. Now, my other guys, no big deal, but not her.
Right.
Okay, so I'm bleeding. I'm all. Oh man, I knew better than that.
Oh.
And so anyway, so that's another lesson.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't really die hard, know your cat. I mean, the core of who they are is in place. So don't go in for a threat with your face.
Right, right. Well, and they give
Her
a lot
breath
of
smelled very
warnings.
good, though. By the way, her breath did smell good, so I knew her that more than likely her teeth
Look,
that was going to be good.
it was worthwhile for the scratch.
Yeah, well, I took it. Ken was like, "You took one for the team." I was like, "Yeah, I did, but I got a breath check, so."
Yeah.
Okay, as I'm plotting the blood on my face.
Oh,
But anyway, these are all lessons we learned with the babies. We do.
absolutely.
So we can't do any pictures, can we?
I can't.
I don't know if I can. It would take me a minute to have to go and save them
Yeah.
all. I mean, I can try. Y'all want to talk? I'll go see what I can do.
I tried. It wouldn't work for me.
I don't know which
can-
cat's which, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
Man, I got too carried away. I got into looking at the memories, and I got too carried away. All right, so Teresa, can we do a
Let me
card?
do that card
Can we
now.
do an animal card, and then we'll hit the next thing with Bex after she's doing that.
Yeah, Bex.
Because
So,
Bex asked me
buy
another
you a
question.
bit of
She was
time.
quite active that day.
Check this out. Okay, you guys know how much we all love that Diana Cooper Archangel Animal cards because not only do you get your interpretation and what you need to learn from it, you get to see why the kitties are here and where they come from and who they work with. So this kitty, I mean, all kitties really work with Archangel
Gorgeous.
Raphael. Why?
Oh.
Because just like you all know, they are healers. They are healers, and look what chakras are lit up right there.
A heart.
Hard shot.
And
Yes.
they come from Orion. That's one of my favorites. The constellation of enlightenment and wisdom. They are highly evolved fifth dimensional psychic beings. So here we are with the cats taking care of us, but they're fifth dimensional already. So it's kind of cool. That's why they see the things that we don't. Domestic cats watch over and protect the homes where they live, while the big cats are watchers and protectors of the planet. They are all healers. And here's another lesson they have for us. Cats know how to relax at a deep core level so that they can access pure spiritual guidance and spread this information to the humans and the animals. But what fun! We see them all sprawled out and thoroughly relaxed. But when you surrender that much, that's when you get your downloads. And so too with our kitties. They bring qualities of enlightenment to the earth and they help raise the frequency of everyone in their vicinity. These highly independent animals do not need humans, but they have offered to serve and help us on our spiritual journey. Even if they just come in to feel the love and to bring that out. I mean, animals are so helpful. Like, when you have a companion animal, what they're doing for you. They're just there.
And even even when you have just a visitor, like a neighbor, of course, my neighbor adopted two kitties where they hang out over here. Of course they do. So, I mean, it's even acknowledging it's so important with, just the neighbor kitties that come to visit. They are also serving a purpose. So I started having to work with socializing the one guy because he was real skittish. And so I've been doing that now, and what's getting a little bit more challenging with him though is he is a young male. She brought in two males and all tabbies, and he doesn't have a tail, so at least I can pick him out quicker, so I know it's him. And so anyway, he, like I said, is a little skittish, needs to socialize and work. But the other thing is, see, he wants to rule. He wants to be the male ruler of my property, but this isn't his. He belongs next door. So I am having this conversation with him that this is Fritz's property, okay? And next door is your property, okay? And we will have kindness and love, and I will give you treats here and there, but there will be kindness and respect in the property. So yeah, that's in progress, which would be easier if it was an inside cat, but it's not. So it's work in progress. But these are all, and
There's
these
a lot
are
of conversations too.
it is. See, and what I found out too, as he was starting to have an issue, and I shut it down, his mom came home and also let me know that he's also given issue to the other cat. So it's not just Fritz.
Oh.
He wants to rule the world. So
do you think it's his no tail thing that's given him an issue?
I'll tell you, the no tail thing, it's I know there was an accident that occurred. They thought it was a bobtail or something. No, there was an accident. Because the other thing is the way he walks, the way he hops. He walks funny. He hops his butt. He hops his butt funny. So it really it's knocked him off balance. I guess he's still working that out. But anyway, I don't know. It's just he's just an alpha boy, and this happens. And a lot of times, if I was in the adoption world, he would probably be an only cat. I'd probably single him out and put him with some maybe dogs. He'd be fine with.
Yeah.
The other cats are really get on his nerves. So, but I got to work with him because he's neighbor's cat.
Do you think he's like the big cop, like the small cop in the big uniform kind of cat because he doesn't have a tail? No, I'm just thinking psychologically, I have something to prove because I don't have a tail. I'm just as good as you.
And you know what? See, there's something to tap in deeper. I have not tapped in deeper on that with him yet. I've been working on the socializing and sweetening him up more and getting used to seeing me and not jumping every time. And I've been working on that, but see, that's something to take deeper in the Akash and find out, where's the imbalance? Because I looked at him and I said, there's CBD oil for you too, There's ways. I have
that doesn't work on my dog.
Lynn Marie has a question.
Okay.
Lynn Marie, let me put it up again. It's I have a cat that just started showing up in my garden, like it's living there, but she accidentally scares it every morning because when she goes outside, the cat freaks. And so, what should she do?
Okay. So first off, that's when you got to pull in your energy. Excuse me. Pull your energy in and enter more slowly. Okay. So the more tuned in you are and the more aligned you are, you can actually sneak up on a cat, which I've learned recently. The more spiritually aligned you are, they won't even see you there. I've had the deer just walking through, the cats just passing by because they just don't even see me. Wow. So the more tuned in you are, bring your energy in, okay, and enter slowly. And then just sit down and offer them, they're showing up again. They're showing up for a reason. So they're coming to assist you. So a little bit of treats will be a good idea, and start a conversation. This is your time to tune in and meet your new buddy. Yeah, so that's what I would recommend. Cool. There's always some little bit of treats and start the conversation, and just like I said, more than anything with cats, it's about patience. And because they have the greatest patience for hunting. They can sit there for 8 hours waiting for something, to do the right move. Well, I'm not saying sit there for 8 hours, but what I'm saying is sit there, be quiet, pull your energy in, and just keep sending. I love you. I mean you no harm. It's safe. Come forward. And that's basically a lot of times anything feral or scared to send that energy. It's important.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm just sitting here and the birds, just because we're you're doing it, Teresa. I don't know how.
Bex.
Hold on.
Bex.
Trying to make sure I'm doing this right because now I've lost part of what I was
she's almost
doing.
Yeah, that's where after that is.
It looks like we've gone down
You have
some
to
sort
go
of
to the
weird.
tab you want from there.
I'm trying now. I can't find it.
Looks
That's what
interesting
happened to
now.
You have
me.
to go to your tab and yeah.
It's
You've
not
shared
letting
your
me.
screen, but you have to share a file, I think. Okay, you have to go back
I got
and
it.
when you
Hold on.
choose, I think share a
It's right
file.
here.
There you go.
So which
Oh
Hey,
one?
yeah,
I
Click
That's
on
recognize
one of
you.
those and
Of course, I didn't mean to say
that's
so,
right. That
lady.
was the first one. What you're at? That
yeah.
is
was.
it letting me? There we go.
Melinda
Look at
wants to know.
that.
That
Okay.
is
Hey,
Mr.
Oh, Melinda has
Fritz.
Bess.
a question for you. Excellent. Yay.
Okay. That is Mr.
Oh,
Fritz doing
and
the
now you
blip,
should be able just to arrow through them.
being the king of the
Yeah.
world. You could just show him, and
Oh
I
yeah,
and
with
I
this
tell
tongue
me the
out.
question.
Do cats reincarnate like I believe humans do, and do they set it up so that they can get back to you? Hugs
Okay.
and kisses.
All right. Well, okay. First off, again, anytime you need them, ah, that's Kiki. That's my snowshoe Siamese. And yes, if you reach in for that belly, you will pull back a nub because that is
Ooh,
a selectively feral cat. Okay. She says, no, I
wow.
know I'm gorgeous
Yeah,
and beautiful.
I
You
will
can
show
get
you
one
my belly,
finger,
but do not touch.
Right.
one finger. You can get one finger and then get out. But anyway, she's so beautiful. Um,
Oh,
Again, to remember with your animals that anytime, just like with humans, as we cross over, that spirit eventually is going to reincarnate, okay? But yet, like my dad crossed over, almost 25 years ago. I know he's reincarnated, but when I call him back, he'll come back as the dad I know. Well, that's the same kind of thing with the
yeah.
animals. They will also return in that spirit form that you know.
Yeah.
So is it? I mean, to me, each lesson is so important to acknowledge and go on to the next one. You don't want to be, to me. Oh, I don't want to say that so much. Search for the next lesson, the next hard expansion, because the next
Ooh.
expansion is coming with the next kitty. Okay, that's what's important. Kitty or oh hi baby. These are my foster babies. See, I got lost in
Oh,
They're so
picture
sweet.
world. That was her first
that's
day with
okay.
me. We called her Trudy. Love Trudy. And Trudy's becoming a very big kitty now in a very happy home.
A blip. Blip.
It makes it so good. I can't.
We have another question.
I see that. I have
It's Yelena Key. I have a 6-month-old kitten
hold that
and a
picture.
5-month-old kitten. What can I do to help them get along with each other better?
I have a 5 month old looking. Okay. All right. This is oh boy, I don't know if I can say that name right.
Hey.
Olna. I hope not to
Tamaho.
botch your name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Olna. This is a conversation I want you to PM me, and we need to talk quite a bit more because I need to know kind of what you've done already. Because the first intro from the beginning matters. And so we need to have a bigger conversation. But I'd be glad to help you with that. I'm offering a
Woohoo.
complimentary 15-minute consultation and to see too if I'm the right need for you. Because it's not always an Akashic reading that you need. Sometimes you need a trainer. Sometimes you need, some other assistance. But I will have that
Just
conversation with
some good advice.
yeah,
Cat advice.
that's got to get big on that. What I wanted to show you with the picture that's up on the
Yeah.
screen, because this was the first match made in my house. That was awesome.
Aw.
So
Aw.
the black kitty, which I named Midnight, was on one foster room. I expanded to 2 rooms. So foster room number 1 was Midnight and Star, and then foster room number 2 was just getting admitted with Owen, who is the ginger kitty who had just arrived that day. Now, in my house, you don't need to meow because I can hear you. Meows are for humans. So Owen was in neonatal with Esther's neonatal for
Oh.
quite a long period of time. And because his leg got caught in an umbilical cord
Ooh.
and they thought he was going to lose it. And Andy
Oh.
worked behind off on rehab and water rehab and doing the energy work, and that cat is beautiful now. You never knew anything was ever a problem, or that there was even a thought he could lose his paw. But these are all things that happen before you get to see him. So now when he gets to my house, I am now doing more socializing, interacting, feeding him up, getting him ready, letting them know, I love it, you're here. We're getting you ready to meet your humans. So he let out this gigantic meow. He was the first one in the room. And then I went back in the room to say, okay, we don't need to do that because you're going to shake up the whole house every time you do that. But Midnight heard him on the other side of the house. I go back to check on them. She busts out the door, runs all the way across the house, comes all the way over to this door, go in right in to meet him, and it was love at first sight.
Oh.
They met each other. They met each other. They slightly poofed because they were young. They were so young, and they were like, "Should we poof up?" Yeah, okay. So they poofed, and then they relaxed, and then that was it. And they are happily ever after in a home together. I get the most gorgeous pictures of them because that was one. It was like these guys need to go together, and it's awesome. And it was love in my house. So that to me felt like they knew they were going to meet here at some point. So that was cool.
Bonded pairs are amazing. It's fun to watch that happen.
Oh man, yeah, and especially in my house. So that was very cool.
Go back through. I guess I hit the end and I started in the middle. There we go. Look at that face. I love that face.
Can we hear Nancy still? There we go.
That's Mocha. Now, just a quickie I got to share about Mochaccino. Mochaccino is one I just got an update on the other day. This is when I named everybody after like Italian everything. So Mochaccino, who also I thought was a boy, ended up being a girl. It doesn't matter. I just do unisex names. So anyway, Mochaccino got adopted by a man who does circus, all the tools they work with in the circus. So, all the real serious stuff, okay? He does all these carvings and all this work in this gorgeous house out in the woods over here, not far from me. And so this cat is turning out to be quite an entertainer. So she has learned to jump. She jumps through hoops. She does all kinds of stuff.
That's awesome.
And because she wants to, not, because we said it's good she's a working cat, works for her kibbles.
That's great.
Updated pictures, and I see there were ones I knew when I met him. It was like, oh yeah, I could see this, and knowing that he's not all that far away. If I wanted to go see him, he was one that extra grabbed my heart. But I love me some Mochaccino.
He looks like a little lion.
Yes, they're just such cuties. I try to keep it down on some of the stories. I get going with the pictures.
But look at the faces.
I know. See, these guys, and that was the Primavera. That was Primavera, and that was Alfredo.
Were you hungry that day?
Together.
Yeah,
they went together
like
too. They went to Tennessee.
Oh, they're
wow!
Hey, that was my first. That was my first long distance, not all in person interview, an adoption event that I did, and it went fabulous. It really did. So that was worth all the work, that's for sure. But the fun part is, of course, is having them and playing with them.
So I want to make sure I'm getting this right. You take on kitties that have been rescued. How?
Midnight Blitz. Yes.
And then from rescuing them, you totally rehabilitate them to where they're ready to go to a forever home.
Yes.
And that takes a lot of money and a lot of love and patience.
Yes, it is. And that's why Heart of Appalachia is also accepting donations at all times because, guys, this, nothing is cheap about this. I mean, we give our time and our love, but there's, everybody needs shots. Everybody needs, dewormers. They need food. All this adds up. And that's why. So that's why for me too, that I got quite a lineup of people that want kitties that I've fostered because look at him, look at Simon.
Oh my God, they're so cute.
And because, they know too, the energy that I put in them.
Mhm.
And if anybody wants, the link is in the description to your where to donate if they want to help.
Okay, now it's Grayson. Hold on, Grayson. Okay. Yes, Heart Appalachians in the link, and I'm on foster break in this moment because my house was out of hand, so I had to take a break, clean up everything, get everything sanitized, and get some work done, and then we'll start again. And Grayson, let's talk about Grayson Bex.
Okay, let's talk about Gray.
All right. So we were having conversation the other day doing our pre-show, and Bex happened to mention. Go ahead.
Grayson has this amazing quirk, if you will. Not my favorite, but he likes to take dust baths in the litter box. He's a year old. He's a great personality, sweet, loving boy, but has this really weird thing with the litter box. Not my favorite.
Okay, now, so as Bex brought this up, this is a perfect example of a client for me because, number one, as I started on the first things, which number one, we started on fleas and flea treatments because Mr. Fritz, who you saw with the blip in the beginning, Mr. Fritz, before I started treating him with flea treatment, used to roll in the ashes of the neighbor's fires and pack his body in to, I guess, get the flea itching to diminish. So the first thing I thought of is he rolling in there to get like, the clay dust on him to relieve some itch. So she let me know that she's already treating him for fleas. So she has put some work into this already. But this has also let me know that I'm going to need to dive deeper with Grayson. And this is one of the perfect moments of diving into his records and finding out that it more than can possibly be a food allergy that we might have to dig deeper on. And because, again, I had experience with another client who it's, feed very high degree of food, but there was something going on not right and itching occurring. And as I went into the great descriptions on each food and what they brought in, it turned out to be a beetroot powder that they seem to like to put into the higher grade cat foods, probably because we see that and go, oh, that's got to be good for them, right? Okay, well, it doesn't mean it's so good for the cat. So in this case, this was causing an allergic reaction on the cat. So why I wanted to use this, I haven't had a chance to tap into Grayson yet. And I always ask for permission first because I haven't really had anybody turn me down. But I did get turned down once on a healing of someone who was very sick.
Oh, wow.
Most of them allow me in to find out what's going on. But this is a great example that I like to go into the Akash, and that's where I dive in deeper to learn what's really going on here, why are you doing this, and what's going on in the house. Because I can't be there to go visit Bex and just visually see. So I got to go in this way to see what's going on. So that's what I do, and that's what I like to do, because it gives you answers and places. And on top of that, cats can get very expensive in the food department, especially when they don't like something. I don't care how good it is for them. If they don't eat it, it's not going to work. So I also get to find out what's going to run through their body, what's going to serve their body the greatest, what's going to function. Are they going to eat it? And really be able to give you the list of here's what you can buy. They're going to eat this, and this is going to process really well through their system. And they're going to grow to very healthy cats. So for me, what I've learned too is if you feed them, pay the money for the food now, okay? Which my thing is at least 80% canned, 20% dry, only because they're addicted to it. If you can get away with like no dry or very little, go for it. Free feeding, bad idea. We should have never done that. You can pull that back too and just do it at 2 or 3 times a day. Go for it. But I prefer canned with extra water added. I strangely add celery juice. I've been doing it for a year. I got very happy kitties and very happy kittens. I don't have proof that that's a thing, but I have proof of my animals. So I'm a celery juicer. I decided to share with them that it would be good for their organs, and it's worked. So I add that, and we always add extra juice because cats are naturally dehydrated and always need an extra water. So anywhere
Oh,
you
okay.
can add some more, go for it.
So
I
even
have
add it to
another
their dry
question.
food.
Are we done with the
Well, I
pictures?
only do it for the dry food. I only do if they're babies.
Yeah. Okay.
If they're
Oh,
babies,
wow.
I agree. But actually, now I would prefer you just try to lean away from that dry food and go to canned. And
Okay.
what I heard from Jackson Galaxy one day, he usually doesn't say a lot about foods, but what he literally said one day was, I would rather you using the cheapest can than the most expensive dry.
Ooh,
That's
that's a
how
good
out of
point.
sync it is for a cat's digestion. And we've all spent, believe me, we've all spent a whole lot of money on these dry foods, okay? And that was it. That was the key. And then we all got a lot of
Absolutely.
crystals in our cats. And we all end up with these vet bills and lots of surgeries. And some cats don't make it when they get crystals in their kidneys. It's a big
Yeah.
deal. So save the crystals
Yep.
in the kidneys and the UTIs. Start the can, add more water. Good to go.
Cool. Yeah.
Grayson
Okay.
likes the extra gravy.
Yeah,
That's how he wants it. He
go
wants
for
the
it.
extra gravy.
Yes. And I can't even tell you guys either how much I end up having to put my hand in that cat food and smush it up again and hand it back, smush it up. Here you go.
Oh,
You know, hey, you do what you got to do.
right.
Yes.
I love that.
Hmm.
I have
Okay,
a
look,
question from
I see
Wanda
this.
here. And
Okay.
I'll read it to
All
you.
right.
First, I'll read you the question, and then I want to read you the story that goes with it. So,
Okay.
the question
Yeah.
is, um, do they know where they're meant to be, and how far will a cat go to get to where they feel they belong? So here's the story. We had a litter of cats here at the farm, and a lady took one of the cats and had him for 7 months. But then she called and said that the cat was like tormenting her blind dog, and she wanted to give the cat back to them. So, did the cat know it didn't belong there, or how far will they go to be where they belong?
Okay. So, all right, first off, this is a misfire and misunderstanding what was going on with the cat. Number one. Okay. So, what this also got reiterated with yesterday. Kittens, the best thing in the world that you can do. If you don't have like a younger kitten or like a puppy at home that is looking forward to a kitten needs another kitten. Adopt them in twos.
Hmm.
Okay. You will say, honest to God, from so many fosters, I don't believe anybody, I think people are crazy who do it one at a time. Okay. Even when I know they're a singleton, it's a lot. It's a lot for you to be their everything. So get the second one. It's only going to cost you a little bit more in the long run, but it's going to save everything.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
they'll
makes
have a
sense.
play partner, and and so what's misunderstood is I'm that the kitten was bored and had nobody to play with. Okay, so that needed to be corrected there, and it wasn't about having being returned. And so that would, if I could come in there and make that call and talk to her and get that other kitten, get another kitten out there to match up. And then just because they're kittens doesn't mean they're going to love each other either. I do need to remind you guys, before I even let Simon and Midnight meet each other, I had already tapped into Simon the week
Right.
before and asked if they were going to be a pair. And I already knew they were going to connect. So that wasn't just a complete blind moment. I knew that was going to happen. But anyway, but that was, do they know where they're going to go? Yes, yeah, sometimes they also, cats also, they have a plan that they have to do, and they're not always with one family. Okay, so it may be 7 years here, and there's times in life where just your cat goes away, and it's like, where'd they go? Well, they've got a program to complete too. So, it's also, to know that too, that they've already done all the work that they have to do with you, and now they go on to the next human. Or like in Fritz's case, he serves the whole neighborhood. So, and that's what he came here to do. And so I honor that. But so that was kind of a mixed thing for me. As a foster and an adoption counselor, I would jump right in there, of course, and hope to repair that. that adoption and bring in the other kitty, and then they'll leave the poor blind dog alone. You know?
Yeah. So Nancy, we loved your whole day and we don't want to keep you up. So anybody who has other questions can call you for that 15-minute consult.
Yes.
And not only will they get that
on
question
Facebook.
answered, they'll, if they find that they're a good match, they have more for you, they can book more with you. But you can
Yeah.
give them that free 15-minute kitty
Absolutely.
consult or doggy consult or whatever they need.
Absolutely.
Bex has one more hard question for you.
Oh, okay.
And thank you so much for all your
Oh, yeah.
interesting
This was a blast.
insight. And my
I'm so
my
sorry.
daughter has
I
2
did
cats,
the
and I
pictures
rolled
at
my
the
eyes,
last
but now I
minute,
feel
so
better.
sorry about that.
No, that's, you know what? Thanks
No,
for sharing the
we
pictures.
loved
Those
it.
are so cute. I could look at cat pictures all day, though.
Well,
Yeah, me too.
and again, too, like I said, we're so used to having kitten feed and stuff. It's like, that's a good way to keep people,
Yeah.
keep people entertained. Just keep throwing up kitten pictures.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
cat videos. If anything else
Yeah.
is going wrong in the world, who cares? Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll watch cat
Cute
videos.
kitty.
Yeah.
All right, so the tough question. If you had to choose a song to be the theme song of your life, what would it be?
Okay. So, for me at this time, it is Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. The song is called As, and it's I Will Be Loving You Always. And that, for me, is how I feel about all the creatures, all the humans, all the beings that I interact with. So that, to me, from the time that song was created,
I'm a
every
bird
time
now.
you hear that, do,
Apparently.
do, do,
You are too.
and you just start swaying, and your heart just starts, woo! That's it. Oh, I got chills.
I love that. Thank you
I
for
love
sharing
that.
that.
Yes, I love that song.
Awesome.
This
Thank
has
you
been
so much for being here.
Oh, yeah, that
Yes.
was so much fun. And thanks so much, guys.
Thank you guys
all
for
the
getting the
work you
kitty pictures up. Awesome.
And yeah, and anybody, any other questions, just private message me on Nancy Louise on Facebook, or High Heart Animal Connection to see in the paragraph up above. And I will answer your questions. We'll set up our consultation and get going.
Absolutely. Yes,
Thanks.
definitely reach out. Nancy is amazing. Amazing. If you have any questions about your cats or your dogs, or just reach out to her, because being
And
able
remember,
to understand
sometimes
them.
emergencies happen too, so
Yes.
everybody be patient.
Yes.
Okay.
Life is unpredictable in the cat world too.
Yeah, everywhere it is.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Absolutely. All right, so I have a couple announcements, guys. I'm going to tell you who the winners were for the last 2 weeks, because we had a pre-recorded show last week, so we didn't announce. And so the winner who won the previous week, the first week, won with Teresa, and that's Marla Torres. So congratulations, Marla. And the winner of this last Share It Out is Sherry Merritt, and you won with Rhonda. So keep sharing it out, guys. Whoever shares out the most this week will win a reading with me. So make sure you guys share it out. Get the cat information out there. You know, everybody needs some. If you know, cats can be very mysterious, and it helps to have somebody who can speak cat. Honestly, we all do our best, but when you have somebody who can really tune in, it makes the relationship with your cat so much better, so much stronger, and it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I put the kitty program. I've got the leopard spots on today.
Oh, good.
That's what I've got on.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I
I
got
did
the leopard spot.
represent with my cover on my chair too.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh, my
Awesome.
ear.
Oh yeah.
It just,
Oh, I got your ears on.
we
Okay.
got it covered. Woohoo! Dragons and kitties. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and we'll see you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Thank you, everybody. That was good.
Thank you.
I hope I learned. I hope I was
Learn
able to share
so
some
much
good stuff.
new.
Yeah.
And pass this kitty information on.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a
everyone. See you
blessed
next
week.
week.
Namaste.
Bye, everybody.